Hello, my name's Tony Bishop. I'm the owner of Connexis Search Group and wanted to tell you a little bit about our recruiting process just so you know how it works. If maybe you're considering us or you've already signed an agreement and you want to know a little bit more about how the process works, let me tell you the steps throughout the process. Number one, we're going to really work with you to get a very good job description, understand what you're looking for in the right candidate. We're going to want to know, like, hey, what do you want this person to do? What does this person have to do to become successful with your company and to help your company succeed? So we're going to go through that in detail. I won't go through all the nuances of doing that, but that includes obviously understanding the comp structure, and we can recommend comp structures as well: base salary, bonus, options, commissions, all that stuff. We know, we work with a lot of companies and we have that information if you need our help. Job descriptions, we can help you with those as well. We have tons of job descriptions. Culture, that's probably one of the key things, is to make sure that it's a good fit from the environment or from the cultural standpoint. We'll go through that with you as well. So that takes about an hour of your time on the telephone or in person. And if you have multiple decision makers, sometimes it's good to get multiple decisions, multiple input into what you're looking for. We can create a scorecard for you based off of that information. That would be a way to grade each candidate that goes through the process. So that's part of our services as well. So once we have that, once we have the decision criteria, we know what you're looking for in a candidate, the scorecard, what you're desiring to hire, then obviously we start our process of sourcing candidates. And how do we find candidates? Well, we've been in business for over 18 years, going on 19 years, so we have an extensive database, about 300 to 350,000 people in our database. Many of them have email addresses, cell phone numbers, business contacts, so we can get started right away because we have a proprietary database. We also use LinkedIn. We don't really rely on job postings. We'll put it on our website, but job postings are too passive for us. We go get the candidates that you want, and so a lot of the really good candidates, they're not responding to job postings. They're not looking for another job. So we go get these candidates and we become a salesperson for you. We're selling your company, we're selling the opportunity. A lot of times when we first talk to candidates, a lot of times they're not interested the first call. They just, I'm pretty happy. So we have to find a little angle to get in there and to get their attention, and we do that based on what your company can deliver for them, what kind of opportunity that they see joining your company will present to them as well. So we're pretty aggressive as far as how we go after candidates. We get them on the phone. Sometimes we actually call them at work and try to schedule some time after hours so they can talk to us. If we don't have their cell number, we go after these candidates in an aggressive way to get them on the phone. So you get to choose from passive candidates who are not actively looking out there. So that's how we source candidates. Once we have the candidates to you, we're gonna usually either send them to you via email, and we have a candidate presentation tool that'll put all 3 or 4 candidates together. We can review those candidates with you. At that point in time, we're going to be revealing information that you can't get from just looking at the resume. So we're going to look at their most significant accomplishments. We're going to see where they've succeeded in the past. We're going to look for evidence that they have been successful in the past by asking them questions. Basically, hey, what are some of your most significant accomplishments? Once we find that out, then we kind of dig in and see what kind of environment they work best in. Are they a small company person, medium-sized company, large company? So a lot of times when you're interviewing candidates, you got to figure out, like, what environment, what culture will they best excel in. So that is critical to the process. So we'll interview these candidates, we'll use a scorecard, we'll grade them against a scorecard, we'll present them to you. We're going to need probably 30 minutes to 60 minutes of your time, probably every week, until we get the final candidates to you. So it is a time commitment on your part. You can't delegate this to anybody else. If you're the hiring manager, you got to be involved. It's not great to have middle person involved between us and the hiring manager. We need direct access to the person who's going to hire this individual. So 30 minutes, 60 minutes, we'll honor your time. We do it before and after hours. We can do it on the weekends, whenever you have time, but we definitely need interaction with you in order to help you get the the best person possible. So that's kind of the first thing is review resumes, get your input. We calibrate based on what you say. If we need to make changes, we adjust, we make changes. We go out and get another batch of candidates. And so usually that takes, that first group of candidates, anywhere from 5 to 7 business days. We'll start getting some candidates coming into us. So it usually takes that long to get a candidate or two to present to you. The whole process usually takes about 90 days from start to finish. That includes phone interviews, face-to-face interviews, offers. So that's 90 days is typical of how long it'll take a search. So once we present the candidates to you and you've reviewed their resumes, and obviously now you want to do a phone interview or face-to-face interview, we set that up. We do meeting invites, so we get with whoever does your schedule or with you, and we set those up. We control that process for you so you don't have to worry about it. We'll set up phone interviews, and then that way you can talk to the candidates we presented to make sure they're a good fit, mainly with you. Their background is going to be a good fit because we know what you're looking for by now, but is it just do you guys connect? That's a big part of it. Is it a good fit from that standpoint? Can you see yourself working closely with this person? So that's part of it as well. So that's the phone interviews. Then we go to face-to-face interviews. Usually we like to get you at least 2 people to face-to-face interviews. Sometimes it's more just depending on the candidate and who you're looking for, how hard they are to find. It's definitely a candidate-driven market, so sometimes you're not going to have a large candidate pool, but the candidate pool we present to you will be right on the money. So anywhere from 2 to 4 candidates face-to-face. From there, you'll narrow it down to the top 2. I suggest you keep 2 people at all times through the process. That way if one person doesn't accept your offer, then you've got another person you can go to get the job done. So if you can get 2 people who are, you could hire either one of them, you'd be equally as happy with either one of them. That is the ultimate. So that's what we shoot for. So final 2 people face-to-face interview. And once that happens, and usually that's with a group of people at your company headquarters, we can certainly help set all that up. But once you get the final interviews, then it becomes offer time, negotiating, and we like to do that for you. We like to be in the middle and make sure that both parties are happy. We have a candidate, and then we obviously have the the employer, and we try to make both parties happy. And so we're the mediator in between the deal. We'll provide you with information about the candidate, what they're looking for, what their current comp is, or what their desired comp is, and try to work it out so that it comes together. So there's a lot of back and forth in the offer stage typically, but the best way to do it is let us handle it. Tell us what you want to verbally offer. Let us test the verbal offer. No need to make a written offer until the candidate verbally accepts. Just a lot of people do written offers right away before they get candidates that are ready to accept, and that's that can be a problem. You don't want to do that. You want to get the candidate to verbally accept the offer and then send them the written offer, and then you want the written offer to have a short period of time. You don't want to leave it 7 days. You want to give them 3 days at the most to decide if they want to accept your offer. And the main reason is you may have another candidate that you like equally as well, and if you prolong the process and the first candidate delays you in your decision making, then you could lose your backup candidate or your second candidate. So that's the offer stage, and these are big strokes I'm giving you. I just want to make sure you kind of understand the process. And then the onboarding part, once you've hired them, then we stay in touch with them for 60, 90, 120 days just to make sure that they're integrating into your company. We ask them, hey, how you doing? How's things going? So if there's any feedback that we think you need to know that's alarming or that you need to be aware of, then we certainly give that back to you, and so you can decide on how you want to respond. And then obviously if the candidate doesn't work out during the guarantee period, then we replace the candidate. That doesn't happen very often, but you do have a guarantee period, and if the candidate doesn't work out, then we'll replace that candidate at no charge. So anyway, I know this is just kind of a brief overview of our process, but I definitely wanted to get this information in front of you so you kind of better understand the whole recruiting process.